Hey trainers, want a smart way to slow down powerful decks in Pokemon TCG Pocket? Today we're looking at a really clever control deck built around Stoutland. If you're tired of losing to big EX attackers, this deck could be perfect for you. We'll go over how this deck works, what makes it so strong, and how to play it well, even if you're just getting started. Stick around for gameplay tips, gameplay video at the end of this video, and don't forget to like and subscribe. This deck isn't about hitting hard in a few turns, it's about slowing your opponent down, disrupting their plays, and winning with smart choices. How do you win? By using Oricorio to block EX attacks, Stoutland to raise energy costs, and item and supporter cards to mess with your opponent's setup. Stoutland is just fantastic. It's such an underrated card. I think a lot of the YouTube community that was looking at this card have really missed it, and it's under the radar right now, at least in my personal experience and from what I've seen so far. Stoutland has an ability that makes your opponent's active Pokemon need 1 extra energy to attack. That is crucial in such a fast-paced, short type of format. That's huge against decks like Charizard, Garchomp, and even the new meta, which is shaping, and that is Buzzwole EX, that already need 2 or more energies to attack. In addition to that, Sharfang hits for 70 damage with 2 colorless energy, so you can use any energy type to power it up, and it's an easy tech in almost every deck. Oricorio is another key card. This card can't take any damage from Pokemon EX. Really popular against Pikachu, Arceus, Giratina, Darkrai. It becomes nearly unbreakable if your opponent is only playing EX Pokemon. It also deals 50 damage with Zap, enough to chip away while your opponent struggles to respond. And since this deck in specific runs lightning energy, it's more than a wall, it's an actual offensive pivot and a real threat. Rare Candy is fantastic. You only run 1 Herdier, so Rare Candy is your main way to evolve from Lillipup to Stoutland fast. Use it when Lillipup already has 1 or 2 energies attached. That way Stoutland is ready to go and you don't lose your Stoutland or take early damage off of a Sabrina. One of my favorite cards in the entire game, and it's a card that I tech in every single deck, that is Red Card. This forces your opponent to shuffle their hand and only draw 3 cards. It's great after they draw with Professor's Research, or they build a big hand, which if you play on ranked, a lot of players tend to hold their cards in hand at usually 4, 5, or 6, and every time I use Red Card, this thing is just such a great punishment. One of the newer cards is Repel. It makes your opponent switch their active basic Pokemon to the bench. If you're playing against Buzzwole, they are going to have a workaround off of the Repel, but it's still a great way to get early chip damage on those Buzzwoles. And if you use it to disrupt early EX decks like Arceus, Giratina, and or variants of Darkrai, Repel is just a really solid underrated tech. Guzma is another card. It's similar to Red Card. I really love playing Guzma. It's a perfect tech against all decks because it seems that every deck is playing ratios of Giant Cape and Rocky Helmet, and it removes all tools from your opponents in one go. I love using it when the opponent sets up 2 tools, but it's still just as effective if your opponent has 1 tool. At the start of the game, hopefully you open up with either Oricorio or Lillipup. If you start with Oricorio against an EX deck, you're honestly already at a huge advantage. If you can get yourself into a Pokeball early on, you can get yourself into an Oricorio and a Lillipup by turn 2, turn 3, which again is really great momentum for you, and your focus is going to be attaching energy to your Lillipup as you can hopefully draw into your Rare Candy and your Stoutland off of either a hard draw or your Professor's Research. The best matches for this, at least in my experience so far, are EX heavy decks, as I mentioned in this video. Oricorio just blocks all of their attacks and Stoutland delays their big plays. I mean, Buzzwole needs 4 energies to attack. Garchomp will need 3 and Charizard EX will need 4, 5, 6. It really just does a great way at slowing down a lot of the big meta decks out there. And your toughest matchups are going to be decks that are fighting, obviously Lucario variants with techs like Sudowoodo or Marshadow, even Garchomp. Those are going to be the tough decks just because you are weak to fighting, so these matchups are hard. Using smart plays like Repel, hopefully to keep you alive and survive. And fast single prize attackers. If you miss your Rare Candy or evolve too late, these types of decks can outspeed you. Stoutland control is perfect if you like playing smart, slowing the game down, and frustrating your opponents. It's not about big flashy attacks, it's more about outsmarting the opponents, and I hope that this deck and this gameplay shows you how much potential Stoutland has as an actual meta contender. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more beginner-friendly Pokemon TCG Pocket tips, and let me know how this deck works out for you in the comments. Check out out the gameplay. Let's go ahead and jump into it. And until next time, trainers, let's go and make it to Master Rank.